Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is a reading for Venus in Virgo. I've been mulling over doing this all day, and the phrase that's, well, just two words that keep coming to me as I was preparing to do this is the tenderness. The tenderness, and as I say that, Hierophant in reverse and the devil. There's a kind of tenderness here. I don't think he's happy. And his heart, look at his heart there. Wounded, right in his heart. The tenderness. So that's what we're putting on here. I know that's a little bit vague, but this is how it comes. This is how it comes when you do this kind of thing. And when you live this kind of way. So one more shuffle, famous last words. What I'm shuffling here is the ancient Italian tarot, major arcana thereof. And here I have the Rider-Waite minor arcana split into its suits. So I'm going to pull 3 from the major arcana and then clarify each of those major arcana cards with 1 from each suit of the minor arcana. So that's how I do it. So let's see how we get on. Oh, and I've got some oracle decks as well. So we'll see. The tenderness. So the Empress in the reverse. Ouch. The Star. Okay. Oh. Oh my gosh, the world. Right, okay, let's oof. Wow. When stuff doesn't grow, as we see here in the Empress in the reverse, it's a systemic matter. Okay. Something, even if the manifestation of that lack of growth is very specific. I'm thinking of a plant, perhaps if there are some strange sort of nodules on one particular bit of the plant. And when you see those nodules, it's like, oh, that plant's not well. It's not necessarily because of the nodules that it's not well. The nodules are a sign of something else. And if there wasn't some sort of systemic vulnerability in that plant, the agent, whatever it is that's got in and that has manifested in the nodules, wouldn't have been able to get in without some sort of inherent, as I say, vulnerability. And that's what I'm seeing here. And this is really, really tender, really tender. It's like, oh man, another thing that came to me earlier, I was doing a few bits and pieces, is this metaphor of the chrysalis. And that's what I'm seeing here as well. It's not birthing yet. Something is in chrysalis, like mush stage, all right? Because that's what happens. I mean, caterpillars and that are pretty, larvae are pretty mushy anyway. But when they build that chrysalis around themselves, they go completely to mush inside for a certain period and reconstitute themselves. And that's what I'm saying here. And it is a very, very vulnerable stage. I'll tell you what, once I moved a chrysalis, or I kind of went to pick up a chrysalis to move it from one place to another. And it was very odd because the whole chrysalis started sort of contorting and going like this, and there was something in there. There was some sort of musculature in there, but I don't know what stage it was at, but there is a certain stage where it is just mush. Okay, that's what we've got here. And this is what we're coming in with. This is the immediate energetic environment here in this first position. In the hidden energy, we have the Star. And this, I'm really like, things are being put in place. Or things are coming into place. And, you know, this is a reading for Venus in Virgo. So, and look, you know, that's, oh no, that's Aquarius, isn't it? Oh no, Virgo. What am I talking about? With the picture. I've just lost all credibility there, but there's something very Virgoan about this, and also very Aquarian, I have to say. It's wonderful. Like a constellation of things is coming together in the background, like round the back, in the shadow, in the bit that we can't see. And the upshot, the world in the upright. This is so beautiful. I cannot believe how beautiful this is, dear viewer, dear listener. Oh my gosh, I almost don't want to clarify it. You know, it's almost enough as it is. It really is. But I am going to. I'm going to start with the star. Okay, what did I say? This is very well prepared, this movement. It's well prepared. The ground is laid out. It's thorough. And, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is nothing if not thorough. This bloke does not, like, flap around. And these things coming, this constellation kind of coming into, like, and there's this, like, moment. Something unlocks. Absolutely beautiful. And as I say, the groundwork for this is, I mean, it's not even, you know, the groundwork for this constellation was set down, or I don't know, I'll get out of my depth with like quantum astro stuff, but there is no doubt about this. There's no doubt. You know, this pentacle will be delivered. That's the end of story. There's no point in thinking any further about it. Okay, Queen of Wands. Well, this to me is the uprighting of this Empress. I mean, I think the Queen of Pentacles also is a really strong reflection of the Empress. But this is action. This is the re-establishment of growth, basically, an active growth, and a sort of natural movement into that with not even authority, not even, certainly not aplomb. It's some word that begins with A, maybe. With confidence, and just quiet confidence. You know, there's nothing showy here. You know, she's back. She's back. And so is she. Oh man. Listen out. I never get this off the Queen of Swords. Listen out for things said. And that includes listening to yourself. You know, be open, be receptive. And she is receptive here. She's beckoning someone forward. She is willing to engage. Be willing to engage, even if it is simply listening, because it's very quiet energy. I'm getting more listening off this than speaking. And, you know, the inner words as well, the inner, it's not necessarily dialogue, is it? It's just the inner kind of stream. Pay attention to the words that exist in your own mind, as well as the words that you experience through your ears and your auditory networks in your brain. Something gets said But it is more listening here. I don't believe it. Right. Need I say more? We've got the Star, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Now, in this second position, this hidden energy. So I'm not surprised the world is here. I'm going to put on the Empress in the reverse now. Okay, yeah. Five of Pentacles. I don't take reversals in this minor arcana section, by the way. Five of Pentacles. Out in the cold, yeah. I mean, what can grow? What the thing is, though, underneath that snow, there are like bugs and grubs and seeds and stuff, and they're all just, it's dormant, it's dormancy. And if that's the correct word, things are in a dormant phase here, and it feels like pretty rough. All right, let's keep going. But, you know, as I said, those bugs, those things, those seeds, and they are under there, and the snow will melt. It's the turning of the seasons. There's another turn to take. Well, it is a turn. As I said about this constellation, everything's turning just on its own, like, axis. It's all completely dynamic in its own orbit. And that depends on all sorts of things like the mass of the body in question, and etc. etc. Well, Ace of Wands. I mean, this is like just, this is the essence of action, absolute essence of it. But in this row here, with what's come so far, this feels like frustration to me. Yeah, it's frustration. Oh my God. Ten of Swords. Well, your frustration's over then. It's just, that's almost like, if I may, you'll excuse me swearing, that's almost just, that's just like, fuck it. That's fuck it energy. And kind of keeping King of Cups, like keeping control of the emotion, but with one toe dipped in the water there. He's got to stay in touch, but you know, there's security there. But I need to, because this story from the king to queen is it, there's going to be more to it when the rest of this comes out. I mean, the King of Cups is often, I'm just having a closer look. Yeah, he's not, the way he's looking there, he's looking at something off camera. And that suggests to me that he's not wholly kind of committed to sort of being where he is, and that toe in the water as well. It's like there is real authority here, and sort of emotional control, I guess, is and sort of emotional self-mastery. But there's always there's this glance at something askance, a glance askance, and this little toe dans l'eau, in the water. There's this kind of still, this kind of vein of vulnerability running through this. All right, that's what it's the vulnerability of the King of Cups. Look at him, just like perched on that little bit of rock in the middle of the bloody sea. I think there's a monster up there. Is that a monster? I don't know what that is in the corner there. Like that thing there. Don't know. But yeah, he's, you know, a bit rocky, isn't it? He's not too far from getting wet. And he's looking over at the Queen. He's looking over at the Queen. Patience, patience. It's all, as I said, you know, this is frustration. You're like, "Ugh." Oh man, let's pull on the world. Oh gosh. Well, all the queens. All the queens. Queen of Pentacles. I mean, what did I say? I said that, you know, she's the, I think her most of all is the Empress. She most of all is the Empress. So to have her come here and clarifying the world is just, it's just backing it up. This is temporary. Now, I don't know the timing of this wonderful, resplendent, absolutely rock solid Shakti glory here. There's the glory in the star, you see. And there it is again, coming our way. Wow. Yeah, I don't know the timing of this, but yeah, this is a Venus in Virgo reading. Okay. What I'm getting off the 10 of Wands here today is not the like usual interpretation about sort of being burdened and, you know, all of that. This to me is about proficiency. This is someone who has made themselves strong and capable, like in terms of action, who's actually in a position to like juggle a load of different things and spin a load of different plates and put their back into it. That's what I'm saying there. This is the accumulation of action and the proficiency and the skill just through practice. I mean, this is not the first time he's carrying that lot. No way. He's very experienced. This is experience. It's fantastic. 5 of Swords. Oh my God. And the 5 of Cups. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Right. I'll tell you what I'm getting straight off that, straight away, is that those who behave like this, like twunk, yeah, like going around scooping up like the glory from the efforts of other people, like grabbing a sort of pseudo victory. It's manipulation and it's really shitty. That's where it leads, mate. 5 of Cups. And you know this. You know this. It's just so simple. It's so simple. My God. I'm going to pull, I need another oracle card. And that's what you've learned through all this work that's been put in to become proficient, to become strong, to become resilient, to become flexible and useful. And I mean that in the technical sense, not in the English slang sense. I've never quite known what that means, but I do remember saying a family member of mine was moving house and I was helping. And one of the removal men said, I hope you'll be back tomorrow. And I said, oh, what? Am I useful? And he burst out laughing. I didn't know what it meant. I still don't really to this day. But this is about being useful, right? Being helpful and being prepared to just like put your back into it in a way that isn't particularly glamorous or exciting in and of itself. But this is humble. There's a humility to this. and a capacity to really, really pull shit off properly. And that brings me back to the Knight of Pentacles there. And what this, there's a kind of acceptance here that it is simply not worth engaging in this. And there are all sorts of ways to do this. And it's really manipulative. There are all sorts of ways to do this, just to sort of please oneself and not give a flying shit about anybody else, and just kind of gild your own lily and like feather your own nest. That's where it ends. And what transpires here is absolute proof of that. And I mean, that sounds, you know, it's very exciting in a way to say things like that, because the implication is that one is always talking about other people. Dot, 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 dot. Is I'm going to pull one from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. Kuan Yin being a kind of Tibetan plateau, Mongolian plateau version of the Tibetan and yogic goddess Tara. Okay, and I've been working with the Tara mantra for a decade now. This is this beautiful oracle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the deck like that. Okay. Be led by the path before you. And there she is. There's young Kuan Yin. I'm just going to turn this over and have a closer look at it, try and work out what's going on. I wonder if those are poppy petals that she's letting go there. And what's she got in her other hand? Looks like a mala. Set of prayer beads, possibly. Like flying with the cosmic yak. Okay, so what this is telling me is that the way forward through this extraordinarily beautiful process is not necessarily something you need to think about too much. It is already there in front of you. And when this constellation comes into position, the path will become clear. This also brings me back to what I was saying about the Queen of Swords, about listening. Because the swords is actions of thought and word. So really listening to what's going on in our own mind and listening to the words of others. And at some point, something crystallizes and the path becomes clear, and you don't need to. There might be multiple paths, but there's only one that's right in front of you. Right in front of you. And that is often the one that we wish it wasn't. I'll just say that. It is often the one we wish it wasn't. And that, I wonder, is perhaps partly to do with these poppy petals. Because, you know, poppies in that part of the world are a thing all to themselves. Yeah, there's only one path right in front of you. Be led by the path before you. And if you're not sure, ask yourself, which possible path would essentially require you to do this, to walk it. You know, the temptations to behave like this in the world in which we live are manifold and sometimes appear to be their own justification, all right? But that's where it leads. I mean, is there a lonelier figure in the tarot than the Five of Cups? I mean, there's nothing there. The only hope is this Two of Cups still standing behind him. And sooner or later, he's got to walk away. But that's the Eight of Cups. That's quite a long way away in the cup canon. So there might be a decision to take, or something might transpire during this transit that really, really, really makes clear to you where you stand on matters of like fundamental importance to you. And whatever path you do end up going down, sorry to say this, but it might not be a bundle of laughs at the beginning, but the path that's right in front of you, when this comes into position, just unlocks this incredible, releases this incredible energy here in this second column. These two cards here are a cautionary aspect, because there is something, and it does just strike me, because the word temptation comes to my mind, and it does strike me. I did at some point show you the Devil card here, and that temptation and that frustration, I see the frustration here, I see it here. I mean, there are thoughts of just like, fuck it, you know, everything's just shit, right? Here in the Ten of Swords. But that's where it, it's not even that's where it takes us. It's not even a consequential thing. That is what that energy is built on. The kind of person who will behave like this feels like this if they did but know it. If they did but know it. So yeah, perhaps there will be multiple paths, but there's only one that's right in front of you, and it might not be the one you wish it was. Right, on that dubiously dubious note, I'm going to end this reading. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.